I originally came from Ireland in 1964, and I am one of 10 children. I have 4 brothers and 6 sisters. My sister Margaret, my oldest sister, and her husband, and this is my mom, and my brother John, my brother Patsy, and my dad John Francis, and my sister Marie, and my sister Anne, my little baby sister Sinead, and Bridget, and Seamus. Now I have another brother, and he's not in this picture because he joined the monastery. This is me right here. I grew up next door to 2 farms, and we lived in this small home with my mom and dad and my grandmother, and we had 3 bedrooms, so like 4 or 5 of us maybe slept in a bed. We didn't have any running water, but we did have a well that we got our water from, so we would have to walk down with buckets to the well, fill our buckets, and then bring it back to the house. Our school was just a little 2-room school. We had 2 teachers, Mrs. Fox and Mrs. Clark, and we all had to walk to school, so it probably took us half an hour in the rain, the snow, whatever the weather was, we still had to walk. I guess when I was like maybe 13 or 14, I was privileged to get a bike. So I was able to ride my bike back and forth to school, and that's when I got myself a little job at the pharmacy. I originally started out helping with the children in the pharmacy upstairs where they lived, but then I went downstairs and helped out in the shop. So I guess I did that for like 2 or 3 years. When I was 17, I met a boy. He lived down the street from me, and we started dating, and about a year after we started dating, he told me he was going to America. So I didn't even think anything about that. I said, well, you know, good luck. So we wrote to each other for a couple of years, and in one of his letters he suggested, would I think of it coming over to America? So I talked to my mom, and she said, you know, fine with her. There might be more opportunities over in America than there was in Ireland, but I decided I would try it for at least for a year and see what would happen. I travelled from Ireland over to Scotland. I had an aunt in Scotland, and I stayed with her, and then I took the plane to New York. So I landed in New York. It was very overwhelming. First thing that really struck me was the lights. I couldn't get over how many lights were in New York City. So I went to my aunt's for a couple of weeks. My aunt had a lot of children too, so that helped a little bit. And then I got a job as a governess in a house in Chestnut Hill. Very nice people. They had 4 children when I got there, and I lived there. I had my own room, bathroom, sitting room. I stayed there for 3 years, taking care of the children. I was there for a while, and I was so lonely and so sad. I packed my suitcases a few times thinking, gee, I think I want to go back home again. And then I decided I would go take a visit home and see what I really wanted to do. And I realized when I was home that I really liked America, and I wanted to come back again. There was more opportunities for me over here in America, and then I met my husband. I was involved with the Columban Fathers, and I was helping them with a social they were having in this bar down in Germantown. That night I was the coat girl. I had to notice these 2 boys sitting at the bar, and they were both watching the Villanova game, and one of them kept looking at me, and after the game was over, there was a dance being held, and Frank, my husband now, he came into the hall and asked me to dance and asked me for my telephone number, and that's how we began dating. I guess I was here about 10 years, and then I decided I would like to become a citizen. So I went down to City Hall. I had to fill out all the papers, and I was given a booklet where I had to learn all about the Constitution and the government of America. So I studied that for, I guess, I don't remember, but for a while. I had to go back down to City Hall, and I had to take the test. And then after that, I was sworn in as a US citizen. I was able to go home quite a bit. At the early years I wasn't able to because I couldn't afford it, but as the years went on I was able to go back and visit my family quite a bit. My family were able to come over here and visit me, which was wonderful. My mom came over like 7 times. She loved it here and she kept saying to me, "I'm glad you came to America because I never would have been able to come to America if you weren't here." I made the decision, I guess I was 21 when I made the decision to stay in America, and I really don't have any regrets. I've had a great life and I've enjoyed it. I wouldn't have met my husband, I wouldn't have my daughter Laura, and my 2 adorable grandchildren, Cara and Devin. No regrets whatsoever. I have a great family, so I'm very, very blessed.